Now those are some pretty big pieces of bacon there. Longer than my forearm. Alright, so I just came back from the butcher and I picked up the first half of pumpkin, and I still have quite a few chickens still in the deep freeze here, and I'm going to have to pack around because we still have the second half that hopefully they don't call me next week, because the stuff has to cure, the ham and the bacon have to cure. So I'm hoping I can fit this in here and use enough over the next couple weeks, fingers crossed, to where whatever I pick up in that next trip I can still fit in all of the freezers. We have 3 freezers total. We've got this deep freeze here, and then we've got 2 side-by-side type refrigerator freezers. So I'll have to make room before that second half comes home. So I'll do just a quick video here on what we got, and as I'm putting it away, I'm not going to lay it all out on the counter like I usually do, but let's get started. Alright, so total we've got 4 boxes of meat, and this is actually the organs, so the liver and tongue, and I guess there's still the heart in there. I didn't ask them to grind it up this time apparently, so they didn't automatically do that. So I'm going to make room a little bit here, and then get started putting stuff away. Now those are some pretty big pieces of bacon there. Longer than my forearm. And it's got good meat in there. When I say bacon, these are actually fresh side pieces, so these have not been salted or smoked or anything like that. So this is the pork steak here, way bigger than my hand. Should be a lot of meat in there. Spare ribs, baby back ribs, and this is so this is just the amount of leaf lard that she had on her. So for a reference, she ended up weighing 310 pounds hanging, and one of the sides of leaf lard that I normally get from my guinea hogs is somewhere around 10 to 12 pounds. I would be surprised if this thing even weighs 1.5 pounds, honestly. So definitely a leaner breed. Alright, so here I had a little bit of a difficulty. With talking to my butcher about what I wanted out of some of these cuts. And in the front shoulder especially, I wanted them to save the copa muscle, which is used for making capicola or gabagool, it's sometimes called. And so these are actually fresh side shanks, which is just the lower part of the front leg that they cut up into pieces. I'm just going to use it for soups and stews and stuff like that. So this right here is the shoulder roast, and this muscle that you see right here, that's actually the copa right there. So I need to cut this out. Eventually I'll thaw this out when I'm ready to cure it, and I'll cut this out and I'll use the rest of it for soup meat probably. Alright, and then the rest of this is just all ground sausage, ground pork. No seasoning or anything like that. There's probably, I'd say, at least 30 pounds in here. So I'm going to leave this in the box for now, and just stick it in here and we'll go from there. All right, so as you can see, we are pretty fully loaded here. Got some space here. We've got space down this here. I could probably tighten this up a little bit. And there's a good bit of space down at the bottom. I could stack some of this on top. Probably will only do the ground meat from the next batch up there so that it's all the same stuff on that shelf. Easy to navigate. But yeah, 155 pounds.
Yeah.
And got another 155 pounds coming. So we got to use this stuff up or find some space for it. I am going to be taking some of the lard that I have in the freezer and rendering that down for soap. Whoop. Oh, I'm almost done, okay. Rendering that down for soap. So if nothing else, it'll just be ready to use and get out of the freezer and probably be stored in the fridge, which we have more space for. So if you see behind me, this is the leftover from the large bale of Sudan grass that I got in January, and over here is the rye, which was the very first bale that I got from one of my local suppliers. The pigs didn't seem to care for the palatability of the rye as much as I know that they do the Sudan grass, because I've fed Sudan grass in small bales over the years. With the ryegrass, I actually popped open all the strings and allowed them to basically tear the whole thing apart, was the end result. And to be fair, Pumpkin was in here at the time as well. She's big and can tear through just about anything better than any of these other pigs can. But, oh, somebody's taking a nap back there. But I wanted to take some of that and put it into other pastures as well, which is the main reason I broke it up. And that's when I found out it wasn't as palatable. For this one, I actually just popped the outer strings, and what they ended up doing was they ate through the middle of the bale, and it took them about 10 days to get through and to where everything was kind of able to be moved around, and the strings weren't holding it together in a cube anymore. And as you can see, there's still some piles of the hay, and they do work on that a little bit. I do find them chewing on it still, but yesterday I went over and I got a new bale, so that the second bale lasted me 4 weeks, and there's still some remaining. So I'll show you what I'm doing for the bale number 3 that hopefully is going to eliminate some of the waste. All right, so here we are over at bale number 3, which I just got yesterday and put in here. And you can see I've raked up the piles already of what was just kind of around the base. So here's a few things that I'm doing differently on this one, and you'll have to follow to see if it actually makes any difference or not. First thing being, I actually put 2 pallets down before I drop the bale, and so that gives a little bit of elevation, but it also makes it a little bit more difficult, hopefully, for them to kind of like step in there. And number 2, what I'm going to be doing is, you can see I've got 4 piles around the corners here, and he's just ripping it up with his horns. I've got 4 piles of hay around the corners here, and what I'm going to do is I need to be diligent in removing those piles from underfoot around the bale, because basically all they're going to do is they're just going to pee and poop all over that. So to try to keep it edible, I'm going to load it up in my dump cart here, and I'm just going to drop it. I'll have small piles around the pasture, which will also get them moving around a little bit more. And worst case scenario is it helps me to spread the hay around instead of having it in just a big pile like you see over behind me there. So that's what I'm gonna do differently, and I'm not popping any strings. I'm leaving all of the strings intact and just gonna make them work for it. So make sure, I'm hoping if the waste is minimized, I'm hoping that this bale can actually last me 6 weeks, but only time will tell. All right, so after dumping the cart out here, kind of spread it into 4 smaller piles, and then this will allow the pigs to kind of gather around it and eat, but without actually stepping in it and using the bathroom all over it. So again, I'll keep you guys posted if this is a win or not, and any adjustments that I might make from that, I'll be sure to share those as well. Hopefully this is helpful to you guys. If you guys have any experience with this, please drop a comment down in the comment section, and as always, please like, subscribe, and click the bell notification on this video and our channel so that you're notified of future videos as they are released. Thanks for joining us, and God bless.